This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. My first guest today is Jeff Gray from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. And put you on the spot a little bit.
All right.
You've been in Alpena 14 years.
Yes.
And I remember you had all these goals that you set out in front of you, and they seemed pretty big and didn't know if they'd ever happen. But when I think of what's happened at Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary in the last 14 years, and the things off the top of my head are the expansion of the boundaries, the class at Alpena Community College, the ROV competition, the film festival. Those are things that I'm just popping off the top of my head. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey, and in 2002 when we started this whole thing, it was a kind of a blank slate, and it's so much community support, and every one of those groups you listed, there's a whole list of partners that have helped us accomplish those things, either the volunteers or the community college or the school district. It's really been a community effort, and what I think is really cool about the amazing things we've done here, but it's Alpena, Northeast Michigan is being looked at around the country as a model for sanctuaries in other places, and particularly in the Great Lakes, obviously, but we have communities from around the country that come visit us to see what a sanctuary can do for a community, and they're using this as a model for other places. Russ Green, who's been in this couch several times,
yes,
he's in Wisconsin now, trying to start one there, and it's all based on this, and it's been fun to see news stories that pop up from across the country that reference Alpena and Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So we see the impact here, but it really has a compound effect, and it's spreading across the country.
Well, you've brought many guests from many countries and states and sanctuaries here, and it's amazing how highly they speak of our sanctuary.
Yeah, and I think all of the sanctuaries are great, but I think what makes this special is that community engagement and community involvement, and people congratulate the sanctuary a lot for some of the accomplishments, but it's much more than the few people that work in our building. It's the partners and volunteers, our advisory council, really the community banding together with this common cause and making this area a better place to live and to visit. And I think that's one of the things we really try to focus on in all our programs. We talk about tourism a lot here and how we attract people, but I think what attracts people is if it's a great place to live. And the things that we do for the tourists, I hope are also useful for the people that live here every single day and get to enjoy it, and I think that builds a broader support base.
How many people do you think come through the sanctuary in the Lady Michigan or any of the exhibits or film festival?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's been fun to watch those numbers grow over the years. We do about 100,000 people in the visitor center, and put that in perspective, I remember when we were in the Federal Building, we were happy the first year we had the little exhibit there, we had about 12,000 people. So, so in about 10 years' time, we've gone from about 12,000 to just about 100,000 people. So we're excited, and we know that number can grow. 100,000 is a big number, but we know we're just still scratching the surface.
And the International Film Festival, was this the third year?
Fifth year.
Fifth year, okay. I lost a couple years.
Yeah.
But when it started out really small, now holy guacamole.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's neat, and it's a similar thing where I think part of being the sanctuary is part of this national link of all these other communities, and we get those films from the San Francisco Ocean Film Festival. Some of the films we get from there, the basis of it, and it just shows how we connected to these different places, from as far as American Samoa to the Florida Keys, and so the film festival does two things. I think one, it kind of shares with our community the issues that the larger ocean is facing, but it also, because this film festival travels, we do try to get some of our films in it, and it also shares with the rest of the world the great stuff happening here. So.
And the young people, or the competition that you did for people, oh my goodness, those films were unbelievable.
Yeah, I tell you, that made it special. I mean, all the films are great, but when you see these local kids making films about their backyard and what this area means to them, it's powerful, and it's it's the art, it's the creativeness of it.
And they
that's
were
mixed
so
with
creative.
science.
I couldn't believe the creativity and what the thought that went into it, the thought process. Amazing.
And I think we'll see that to continue to grow, because a lot of kids wanted to do it, but they didn't know, and then went the exposure. So it's a really rewarding part of it.
Okay, now you told me you got a wonderful grant.
Yeah, well, we talked about the 100,000 people that we get to our center, and we want that number to grow. And so we have a new campaign starting called Get Into Your Sanctuary.
Okay.
And it's going to be a marketing campaign really to advertise Northeast Michigan to the rest of the world, and to get people up here and to get into the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And that's different for everybody. For some, that might be just coming to our exhibits and walking on the schooner, or climbing through the tubes and going down the slide. But for others, we hope it's going on the glass-bottom boat, going snorkeling, going kayaking, going diving, and really getting people here to experience what an incredible place this is. And I know it's weird in a cold February day to be talking about some of the summertime activities, but we really want to spread that word, and we want to get the help of people to spread the word. I'm always amazed when I talk to people from around the state, or go speak somewhere, and people that travel all over. I've never been to Northeast Michigan, I've never been to Alpena, or people that come in and they tell us, oh, it's my first time here, and we are this hidden gem, and we don't want to be that anymore, right? We want people to know about us, and we want them to come experience. So.
Well, and to see what you can see here on the Lady Michigan, or if you're a snorkeler or a kayaker, it's amazing that we can see that in our own backyard, some place that we took for granted for so many years.
Yeah. And the shipwrecks are the hook, how we look at that. People will come for the shipwrecks to go on the glass-bound boat, but then appreciate our beaches and our state parks, our lighthouses, incredible downtowns, the restaurants, and it's a way to get people here so they can see and meet the incredible people here.
We've got about 2 minutes left, so we want to talk about the sanctuary still up and running even though it's winter.
Yep. The visitor center is open year-round, and we're in a bunch of our education programs preparing for the summer. We have our robotics up. Hopefully be back before our big robotics competition in April. But we talked about kids and what they do with films, but the school district is doing some incredible stuff with these robotics programs, and at the end of April there'll be an opportunity for people to come watch some kids from across the state do some incredible things.
My favorite thing to do every time I go there is go open the guest book and just look back a few pages and see where people have come from. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Well, thank you very much for being here. Looking forward to hearing more new and fun, exciting things, and look forward to talking to someone next month.
And we'll get in the water soon.
Yes.
We'll get you in the sanctuary. We'll get you in the sanctuary.
Yeah. You've been on the water. I see the video, but I'll wait until it's warm.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to see you. I'll be right back with some information from Thunder Bay Theater following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests today are both here from Thunder Bay Theater. We're going to talk about Jungle Book. I have Sarah Lake Rayburn and Corey Keller. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Corey, welcome back to Alpena. You were gone for a while, so welcome back.
Good to be here.
Good to have you here. And Sarah, you've not been on before.
I haven't, no.
And you are the costume designer for Jungle Book. Tell me what the costumes are going to look like.
Yeah, so we're going with a kind of abstract theme. So we've got about 26 kids in the production, ages 10 to 21. So there's a lot of them. And we're going with masks for all of the characters to kind of go with a sort of African-inspired theme with the masks, and then they'll have a black base costume with kind of a tunic or a kind of thing over the top to represent what animals they're going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're the set designer, so what's the set going to look like?
I'm the technical director, so I didn't design the set, but I am in charge of making it come to fruition. It's going to be very much, when you think of a jungle, it's lots of vines and trees, like there's a big tree, lots of awesome structures, like cave-like dwellings. It should be a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. Now, how is it going to be adapted to the stage from the Walt Disney movie?
We are actually doing a different version than the Disney version. So it's got the same kind of basic characters, Mowgli, the boy who's grown up in the jungle, and the wolves, and Shere Khan the tiger and everything, but it's a different version. So it's a similar story, but it's not the same as the Disney version.
We're using the same source material that Disney used when they made theirs.
Right.
So they also pulled from a different story.
So it's based on the original book.
Okay.
But so it's similar but different than the Disney version. Yeah.
So who are the main characters and who's playing the roles? Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, so Mowgli is the kind of main character, is played by Tori Eller.
Okay.
And then her Bagheera, what animal is Bagheera? The jaguar, I believe.
Okay.
Is played by Lillian Broad. Baloo the bear, I don't know who the actor is, and Sam Brooks is playing Kaa the snake, and I think those are kind of the central characters, but it's very much an ensemble piece. Everybody has an important part, and and Shere Khan the tiger is Jacob Osterlund, who's one of our exchange students.
Osterlund.
Yeah, Osterlund. Yeah,
very good.
He's from Sweden.
All right, so tell us the story of Jungle Book.
The story of Jungle Book is Mowgli, this baby who gets taken from his family in the village to the jungle and is raised by wolves. So he kind of believes that he's one of the jungle animals. And then there's Shere Khan, the tiger, who hates humans and wants to kill Mowgli. And it's kind of all about this struggle between kind of about being accepted as, accepting differences, and the struggle between Mowgli and Shere Khan of who's going to kind of come out on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what kind of music is there going to be?
There's actually not music in this production.
Nothing at all?
There will be some kind of soundscape kind of things with the kids making their animal sounds that will kind of weave together. And a lot of it will be live. The kids just making the sounds on stage and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So with that many children, has it been a tough production schedule, a practice schedule?
Always.
Always. Yeah, so we've been rehearsing for about 2 weeks. Most nights about 5 to 8, I think, is the typical schedule, a little bit more on weekends. But yeah, generally less tough than we have with the professionals, but we're doing a lot. It's get them in there.
And one thing, this is a family production, so we need to tell people when and where to get their tickets.
Yeah, you can get your tickets online at thunderbaytheater.com or by calling in, which I should know the phone number, but I don't.
It's on the website?
It's on the website, yeah. And the production runs March 2nd through March 12th.
March 2nd through March 12th. So it will sell out. Family productions always do, so make sure you get your tickets in advance.
Absolutely.
Call, get your tickets, and take your family. Make it especially the matinees on Sunday. Are the matinees?
Yes, for this production, we will have a Sunday matinee the first weekend, and then the second weekend, there's not a Friday show because there's a band performance at the high school, so we've got a matinee on Saturday as well to make up for that.
All right. So after Jungle Book, what's next at Thunder Bay Theater?
Coming up next, we have A Grand Night for Singing, which is a Rodgers and Hammerstein review, and that's with our professional actors. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Will you be in that one?
I will not, but I will be building it.
Oh, you will. Okay.
And this one's going to have that one has a great deal of traditional craftsmanship in it, so that should be a lot of fun.
That's
like a bar.
really great.
It's gonna be great. A lot of work.
Yay! So, are you going to be doing any tryouts for local people again in the near future?
Yeah, we have auditions, I believe, coming up for our summer season. We're going to be doing a lot of big musicals, so we're going to need some more people.
Okay.
And I think you can find the dates for that on our Facebook page.
Okay. And I always like to encourage people that if you want to volunteer, Thunder Bay Theater always needs volunteers.
Absolutely.
They need donations of all kinds of things. Anything you do in your house, they need donations there. Things for set, or if you want to help be a set designer, or if you want to be a docent, anything you want to be, we can use volunteers at the theater.
Absolutely.
Anything else to add today? Okay, one more time, the dates of Jungle Book.
March 2nd through March 12th.
And look online to get your tickets. And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
It's been great.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Mike Colleen, director of admissions at ACC.
Great to be here to talk about what's going on. So there's lots happening, as we always know.
There is, and you're in the middle of a lot of it.
Seems like it.
Yes. So one of the things, the first thing I'd like to talk about is Hoops for Hope.
Yeah.
Which actually will be this Saturday night, a day before this taping appears, but nonetheless, let's Talk about it. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Hoops for Hope sort of pink basketball games, if anybody's a college basketball fan, which I know both you and I are, you see a lot of pink games on. I even saw a game last night, or the other night on ESPN, where Virginia Tech's men's team was wearing a lot of pink trim on their uniforms and stuff. It's that time of the year where it's a sort of a national initiative to sort of bring awareness to breast cancer, really all cancers. And it's sort of something that's happened out there at the big four-year college level. You see it at the smaller colleges and also high schools. So we've got involved here in Alpena. And
you have been central to that involvement, right?
Yeah.
So is there a particular thing that draws you to this issue, or you just think it's good for the community, good for the college, good for kids?
It's good for everything, right. It's win-win-win all around. I'll tell you, back when my daughter was playing in high school, we went to Gaylord High School when she was on Alpena High's team, and they were having an event. And to be honest with you, my wife and I were sitting there thinking, why don't we do this? This is great to get young people involved about a cause and educate them and stuff, and it's never too early to do that type of stuff. So of course my daughter was all excited about it too, and as many people know, Coach Allen, the women's coach at the college, and I still run a summer basketball camp for a number of teams, and Bobby said, let's get some pink uniforms. And we used some money one year from our basketball camp, bought some pink uniforms, and so about 6 or 7 years ago, we started having some games, both at the high school and at the college. It's sort of rebranded itself, sort of moved to just, it's been a college game the last couple of years. But it just gives the opportunity for the women, they wear pink uniforms, you know, the guys may be wearing pink socks or pink wristbands, just an awareness thing. It's still a basketball game, but then there's some other overall message at the game for not only the players, the crowd, the spectators, all in general.
That's a wonderful thing. And having seen it the last few years and enjoyed it and admired it, the crowds are big.
Yeah, typically it draws a nice crowd because people come out not only for the game, but because they know they're supporting something. You know, we've had a great partnership with the hospital, Mid-Michigan Medical Center now, and Diamond, Stacy Croninger have just been fantastic supporters. And we give 100% of our money back. It all stays local. 100% stays local, you know, and we sell T-shirts every year. I sort of brought one of this year's shirts, just the Hoops for Hope shirts. They're still on sale at the ACC bookstore. $10 for a shirt. 100% of the money stays right here local, and it goes to the Alpena Cancer Center to help with not only patient care but upgrading technology. So that's the nice thing, is that you're supporting your neighbors.
Well, that's always a good thing when a community college and when student athletes can get involved in something that's bigger than just a game.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw a little bit of that this past Saturday night with Coach McCourt's 50th, honoring his 50 years as coach at ACC. Right. It was a lovely evening.
You bet.
And you were there. You were one of his former players.
1989, I was playing for him. Heck, he was only halfway through the 50 when I was playing for him. You know?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and you had a great career there.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah.
And what was your impressions of the evening?
Well, it was great. You know, obviously, not only from a player back in 1989 to 91 with Coach McCourt, I went on to play, but then I've been connected with the college ever since then, as coaching for the women's team, and then just sort of being a fan and a member of the college family, I call it. And I saw a lot of the past players that came back that, of course, were there when I was either a coach or a player or maybe just, once again, a fan. And it's great to see those student athletes come back and the connection they have with ACC, Coach McCourt, Coach Allen, sort of Alpena in general. It was great to see. A lot of fun catching up with some old friends.
Yes, there must have been 3 dozen,
absolutely,
at least, alumni, and both women and men.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Frank's had a lot of involvement both with the men's and women's teams. Maybe not as a coach, but sort of as a mentor or that sort of guiding father out there, you could call. And so, yeah, some of the women certainly had a connection to Coach McCourt as well.
Yeah. And I think he and his wife were deeply moved by the show of support. What I heard and what I continue to hear, what I've heard for a long time from former players, is his role in helping them become productive adults. That he provided structure sometimes when they needed it, a kick in the kick in the butt when they needed it or an ear when they needed it.
Absolutely, and that's what athletics does. It provides some of these students that that motivation, those goals, that inspiration to be able to say, I can play sports, but I can still get an education. And Frank was about student athlete, making sure that ball is going to go away, but that education is going to stay with you forever. So he really tried to help support that mission with Northern Michigan kids, students from all over that he brought here over the years.
One thing, I had a chance to speak, and there was one thing I wanted to say, and I kind of ran out of time because it was a little bit of a larger point, but in the ebb and flow of community college financing, there's often you run into, or can run into, periods when money is extremely tight. And at those times, athletics often is the first kind of target that the periscope lands on. Why are we doing this? We could save this amount of money if we didn't. And I think Frank has been a champion of athletics, and at those times in particular, you need somebody who represents or can represent the importance of athletics, or it can go away.
Right. Absolutely, and like I say, it provides opportunities, and without those opportunities, who knows what some of those students would have done. You're a strong supporter of athletics. I know Dr. Joint, Dr. Newport, back when I was a player, he was there Saturday night as well, I saw.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely, but athletics give colleges that identity. And it draws people in, and it's got a very strong place at ACC, and I'm pretty confident under your leadership that athletics is going to be there, and I think it's really important. I really do. It helps draw people in and lets us know who we are. Yeah,
I am a believer and a supporter of athletics. This week we had our cross-country team attain academic All-American status. Coach Jacobs is doing a wonderful job. He will be the next men's basketball coach, and I'm excited about what he'll do.
Exactly. I've known Mark for a lot of years, and certainly academics. Putting out a competitive team, but once again, even though running is that lifelong activity, he still understands that education is important. Has his student athletes sit up front, make sure they're always represented, both himself, the community, their family, their hometown, very positively.
Yeah, great stuff. So we've got about 2 minutes left. You're involved in admissions. You are our point person. You do a great job. And I will be reporting at the board meeting tonight that we are up in head count about 30%, and credit hours about 3.5%. Right. And that's a startling number. And part of the reason for that is direct credit and concurrent enrollment, a partnership we have with APS, Alcona, and Iosco County Schools. Could you weigh in a little bit on that?
Well, it's just another great way that ACC has really sort of reached out not only to Alpena but Northeastern Michigan to provide some free college tuition. Of course, the school systems are paying some of the cost. To any of the students who are in the CTE or career and technical education programs, that they're going to get a free college, sort of a careers, job search. It's a part of their curriculum. And so all those are our students. You're right. It's giving them a taste of what ACC and the college life will be. It's going to be a transcripted credit, good at ACC, transferable to institutions out there. So yeah, our head count is way up, but our, the credit hour doesn't quite match it because it's just a 1 credit hour course, but it's a great opportunity. I've had the opportunity to go out to all the classrooms, meet with the instructors, all the students. They're excited. They're excited about it, and some of them, they're first generational. Right. Some of these students, this is their first exposure to a college, and ACC is providing it, which no doubt will have some long-lasting effects.
I appreciate it's been a lot of extra work for you and your staff, Sue Geiersbach, Lori Dzinski, and our registrar, MIS, Carolyn in HR. But I think it'll be a good thing, and I appreciate all your efforts there. I appreciate all you do for ACC, and I appreciate you watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.